Hey friends, how are you? Hope you're well. I hope today you're going to enjoy this video. It's another author spotlight video. I'm trying to spotlight authors that I like, but also authors that are maybe not being shown so much on the booktube community that I think should be. So the author for this spotlight is Victoria Walters. Now, this is one of her series, and this is another one of her series. So let's discuss them. So the first series I ever read of hers was her Glendale Hall series. So this is the first one, Coming Home to Glendale Hall, and she's coming back to Glendale because she needs to help her family. She needs basically to mend the broken bridges. And she also is bringing her teenage daughter with her. She ran away when she was pregnant because she felt there was something was said by a member of her family, and she decided the best thing she could do was get away. So she ran away to London, but now she's having to come home. And this is the story about Beth settling back into Glendale, into the way of the family. It's how her daughter Izzy gets on with the transition from London to having family in Scotland, and making friends within the village as well. I loved Izzy. I think Izzy was a brilliant character. She was bubbly, full of life, and she was just such a great sort of character to have throughout the whole story or the whole series. And when Beth arrives at Glendale, she realises that the village is not thriving as it used to, and she sort of speaks to her mum, and her mum explains some things, and Beth's like, well, we're not letting the council get away with basically, turning the village into nothing. And she starts fighting, but it puts her up against her dad, because her dad's part of the council. So it's like, does he mend his ways, or does he turn around? Does his thinking change? Once, because with what Beth is hopefully planning to do with the village. And then Beth starts a new tradition at the hall as well, which is really, really nice. And it's to try and bring people in, not only to the village but into the hall grounds itself, and various things happen from there. It is also the story of Beth reconnecting with her high school sweetheart Drew, who happens to be Izzy's father. He doesn't know he's a father, so there's a secret baby sort of trope. But it's them reconnecting, and do they end up getting together, do they not, etc. So it was really, really nice. I really enjoyed it. A really good first book to a series. Then you have New Beginnings at Glendale Hall, and this sees Beth's friend Emily coming up from London, where she works as a baker, and her boyfriend is not really that great, and she finds out something about him, so she comes up to Glendale Hall. And while there, she meets Brodie, who's the minister for Glendale Hall, for the village, and it's their story. How will they start a romance? If they do, will they stay together? And all of this, it was really nice because excuse me. Not only did you get Emily and Brodie's story, you also got to catch up with Beth and Drew and Izzy and various other characters that you had met in the first story, which was really, really good. And you were introduced to some other characters who have their stories later on in the book, in the series, which was really nice. I kind of liked that you were getting, not only sort of, shall we say, these different stories, but you were getting the whole connection as well. So that's book 2. Book 3 is called Hopeful Hearts at Glendale Hall, and this is the story of Heather, who is Beth's best friend, and she lives on a farm with her partner Rory, and they have a little son called Harry. Harry is delightful. He's just a little toddler, and he follows them everywhere, and he wants to do everything and get involved in everything. But in this story, an ex-boyfriend of Heather's has come to Glendale Hall, and basically he's wanting to buy up fields that are around their farm to turn it into a like big hotel and chalet complex, etc. And it's then going to impact on like Heather and Rory's livelihood. And the more that they plus the villagers find out about this complex, the less happy they are about it. And so there's conflict there. There's also conflict in that the ex-boyfriend is also wanting to try and take Heather away from Rory. So you have that as well. So you have all of this going on, but plus again tie-ins to the last two books. You're getting catching up and everything, and like Izzy is very involved, and so is Emily in this story as well. So it was, it's really really nice. It's like again, it's a will they won't they? Will the villagers back Heather and Rory, or are they going to back the new development? And then the final book in the series is called Always and Forever at Glendale Hall. And we meet Anna, who is Brodie's sister, and she's still suffering from trauma from a car accident that she barely survived as a teenager. And she wants to spread her wings, but is having, she doesn't want to settle anywhere, etc. And eventually she comes up to Glendale and to visit her brother, and she ends up meeting Cameron, who works for Heather. So you have this story going on. Will she settle down? What will she do as a job, etc., etc. So we have that story. We then have a second story running in that a friend of a girl that Anna befriends, herself and her brother have always wanted to buy this certain house in the town to run it as a B&B, and eventually they managed to buy the house, and it's them setting it up as a B&B, and it's also how all the renovations they do and how they do it and what they find, and there's somebody comes because they found something, and so that is all mashed together as well into this one story. So it's a story of love, story of friendship, and it was really really good. All of them, every single book was really good, and the series as a whole was fantastic. I really loved this series. So did my mum, my best friend, one of my best friends read it as well, and it was like, we all loved the series. So I would highly recommend the Glendale Hall series, because I think anyone will love the series. Set in Highlands, what's not to love? So that's her first series. She also has A Deadly End mystery. Now these are cozy mysteries. This I think is the second book. Yes, this is the second book. Now I have not read. Hold on. I got confused in the Glendale Hall series, because there's Always and Forever, and then Dreams Come True at Glendale Hall. That is the one about the B&B. I was sitting there going, also in my brain, but I couldn't remember. So yeah, Dreams Come True at Glendale Hall is the one about the B&B, and it ties everything up, which was just so good. So it's a 5-book series. So sorry, my apologies for that misinformation. So yeah, the Deadly End Mysteries. This is the second book. I haven't read this. I haven't read any of these books, but my mother has, and my mother loved it, and she wants to get the others. So if Mum liked it, then I will. So I'll read you the back in this one. After finding the killer of Lucy Roth 6 months ago, life has settled back to normal for bookshop owner Nancy Hunter. Oh, she's a bookshop hunter. Oh, right, okay. And her grandmother Jane. The annual Deadly End Village Fete is just around the corner, and Nancy is delighted when best-selling author Thomas Green agrees to launch his first novel in 10 years there. But when a body is discovered at the summer fete, the deadly scene mirroring that in Thomas's latest bestseller, Nancy and Jane, along with her journalist friend Jonathan, must play detective once again. The clues are right under Nancy and Jane's noses, if only they can find them, because the answer to life's question can always be found in a book. Oh, that sounds so good. That sounds really fun. So yeah, I'm definitely going to put this on my TBR. This I think will... I'll maybe get this put read for first week in August. That would be good, wouldn't it? So that sounds really interesting. And as I say, if Mum gets the next one, so the first one is called Murder at the House on the Hill. Then there's this one, Murder at the Summer Fete, and then there's Murder at the Village Church. So they all that does sound a good series to start with. And then she also has 2 standalone novels that again I have not read, but I definitely will be. One is called Summer at the Kindness Cafe, and the second one is called The Second Love of My Life. So having read, as I say, one series of Victoria Walters, there's definitely the Cozy Mystery series, and there are the standalones. I am definitely going to check them out, because I really like her writing. I like the way her characters are developed and the plot lines are developed. So yes, so if you've read any Victoria Walters, come chat with me down in the comments. If you haven't, guys, go pick her up. Go pick her books up, because they are really worth the read. Glendale Hall series is just absolutely superb, and I can't recommend it highly enough. And if my mum is recommending the Cozy Mystery and that she really loved it, then she and I have fairly similar tastes and things like that, so it must be good and Mum's really enjoying it. So, but I hope you've enjoyed this video, friends. Again, please let me know down in the comments if you've read any Victoria Walters, what you thought of them. It would be lovely to chat about it. Or if you feel that now I've sort of chatted a wee bit about her, that you would like to read more from her, or start reading her, I would again love to chat with you down in the comments. But until my next video, friends, stay safe, happy reading, bye.